Tonight, we travel back to a time long before the first dinosaur walked the Earth, long before the continents had found their current places, and long before the air was filled with the oxygen we breathe today. We are going to a remote corner of West Africa, to a place called Oklo, in the nation of Gabon. Here, buried deep beneath the tropical soil and ancient sandstone, lies a secret that challenged everything we thought we knew about the history of our planet. We are going to explore the ancient nuclear secrets of a 2-billion-year-old natural reactor. As you settle into the soft, welcoming embrace of your bed, imagine the modern world fading away, the lights of the city, the sounds of technology, and the rush of time are all dissolving. You are sinking through the layers of the earth, back through the eons, to a world that was raw, volcanic, and silent, a world where nature was performing an experiment that human beings would not rediscover for another 2 billion years. The story begins in 1972 at a uranium enrichment plant in France. Scientists noticed something impossible. A shipment of uranium ore from the Oklo mine in Gabon contained a slightly lower amount of uranium-235 than it should have. In the precise world of nuclear physics, the ratio of isotopes is as constant as the speed of light. Every piece of uranium on Earth, every grain of sand, and every moon rock contains exactly 0.720% of this rare fissile isotope. But the samples from Oklo were missing a tiny fraction. It was as if someone had already used the fuel. As you breathe in, slowly and deeply, imagine the confusion of those scientists. They were looking at a mystery that defied the laws of the natural world. They were looking at the fingerprints of a ghost. For weeks, the scientific community was haunted by a single, terrifying question. Had an ancient, advanced civilization lived on Earth billions of years ago, and had they built a nuclear reactor? But as the data poured in, the truth proved to be even more miraculous. Nature itself had built the reactor. In the darkness of your room, let the scale of this realization sink in. 2 billion years ago, in a muddy river delta in Africa, the conditions became so perfect, the geometry so precise, and the water so pure, that a nuclear chain reaction began spontaneously. It was a natural engine, a silent pulse of energy that hummed in the deep dark of the earth for hundreds of thousands of years. You are drifting toward that ancient hum now, a steady, warm vibration that is the very heartbeat of the planet's history. The science of nuclear fission tells us that to start a reaction, you need a critical mass of uranium, and you need a moderator to slow down the neutrons. On Earth today, our uranium is too dilute for this to happen naturally, but 2 billion years ago, the isotope uranium-235 was much more abundant. Radioactive elements decay over time, and back then, the Earth was richer, more potent, and more energetic. Imagine the Earth as a young, restless giant, its blood filled with the fire of the stars that created it. The ore at Oklo was like a concentrated seed of that cosmic fire, waiting for the right moment to bloom. As you lie still, feel that same ancient energy within your own cells, a quiet, radioactive spark that has been passed down through billions of years of evolution. Water was the key to this ancient secret. In the science of reactor physics, water acts as a moderator, slowing down the fast-moving neutrons so they can strike other uranium atoms and continue the chain. 2 billion years ago, groundwater seeped into the cracks of the uranium-rich sandstone at Oklo. The moment the water hit the ore, the reactor turned on. It began to generate heat, a soft, glowing warmth that radiated through the stone. But here is the most beautiful part of the mystery. The reactor had a built-in safety switch. As the water boiled away into steam, the moderator disappeared, and the reaction would stop. Once the rock cooled down, the water would return, and the engine would start again. It was a breathing reactor, a rhythmic, pulsing cycle of heat and silence. Imagine that pulse. 3 hours of activity, followed by 2.5 hours of stillness. This cycle continued for over 100,000 years. It is the ultimate rhythm of work and rest. The Earth was not in a hurry. It was patient, it was steady, and it was perfect. Tonight, let your own breathing match the rhythm of the Oklo reactor. Inhale for the heat and the energy. Exhale for the cooling and the silence. You are part of a planet that knows how to regulate itself. You are part of a system that has been practicing the art of balance since the beginning of time. The ancient nuclear secret is not one of destruction, but of a deep geological harmony. The atoms are splitting. The water is flowing. The steam is rising. The Earth is dreaming. In the silence of the first segment, you are finding the anchor of this ancient story. You are moving beyond the surface of the modern world and into the heavy, stable layers of the deep past. The mystery of Oklo is a reminder that the Earth is full of wonders that we are only beginning to understand. You are a witness to the secret, a traveler in the dark, and a student of the stone. As the warmth of the bed envelopes you, think of it as the gentle, radioactive glow of the ancient reactor. A warmth that is safe, eternal, and profoundly quiet. Isotope, moderator, fission, sleep. We descend now from the discovery of the reactor into the complex chemistry of the ancient world, exploring the oxygen revolution and the birth of the Oklo mystery. To understand why the reactor started 2 billion years ago, and not before, we must look at the changing face of the Earth's atmosphere. For the first 2 billion years of its life, the Earth was an anaerobic world. There was almost no oxygen in the air, and without oxygen, uranium remains trapped in the ground, unable to dissolve in water. But then, a miracle occurred. The rise of cyanobacteria, the first organisms to perform photosynthesis. They began to breathe out oxygen, slowly filling the oceans and the sky with this new, reactive gas. In this segment, we explore how life itself prepared the stage for the nuclear fire of Oklo. The science of geochemistry tells us that oxygen acted as a key, unlocking the uranium from the ancient granites. As the oxygen levels rose, the uranium became soluble in water. It was carried away by ancient rivers and deposited in concentrated pockets in the sandy deltas of West Africa. This is the Great Oxidation Event, a turning point in the history of the world. Imagine the Earth's surface changing color from a dull, volcanic gray to a vibrant, oxidized red. This was the birth of the first uranium deposits. A slow, chemical gathering of power in the dark. Tonight, as you drift deeper into sleep, imagine your own body performing a similar chemistry. The oxygen you breathe is fueling the slow, quiet fire of your metabolism, turning the energy of the day into the restoration of the night. Inside the sandstone layers of Oklo, the uranium reached a state of critical density. In the world of nuclear engineering, we call this the geometry of the core. The layers of ore were separated by thin sheets of clay and organic matter, creating a natural honeycomb structure. This structure was perfect for holding the water that would act as the moderator. It was as if the Earth had built its own laboratory, carefully arranging the elements to achieve the impossible. As you lie there, feel the geometry of your own rest. Your limbs are heavy, your head is supported, and your environment is perfectly arranged for the reaction of sleep to begin. You are a system in perfect alignment. One of the most profound secrets of Oklo is the role of organic matter. 2 billion years ago, the area was a lush, tropical delta filled with mats of algae and bacteria. As these organisms died, their remains created a reducing environment, a chemical trap that forced the uranium to drop out of the water and concentrate in the sand. Life was not just a witness to the reactor. Life was the architect. Without those tiny, ancient microbes, the uranium would have stayed scattered and weak. You are a descendant of those architects. You carry the same chemical wisdom in your DNA, the ability to concentrate strength, to build structures, and to harness the energy of the universe. The reactor at Oklo was not a single site, but a series of 16 different zones scattered across the region. Each one was a unique, glowing pocket of energy. In the science of nuclear physics, we study the burn-up of the fuel, the way the uranium atoms were transformed into other elements, neodymium, ruthenium, and xenon. These elements are the ashes of the nuclear fire, and they tell us exactly how long the reactors ran and how much energy they produced. They ran with a power output of about 100 kilowatts, roughly the energy of a few dozen modern space heaters. It was a gentle, persistent heat, a soft glow in the deep, black mud of the ancient delta. Imagine the silence of that ancient world. There were no birds, no insects, no sounds of wind in the trees, only the rhythmic bubbling of the water as it hit the hot uranium ore. It was a world of steam and stone, a landscape of gray and orange, under a pale, orange sky. In the darkness of your room, let the silence of Oklo become your own. You are moving away from the loud, frantic world of the present and into the quiet, chemical laboratory of the past. The reactions are slow, the transformations are deep, and the energy is eternal. The oxygen is rising, the microbes are building, the uranium is gathering, the fire is starting. In the silence of the second segment, you are realizing that you are part of a very old, very complex story. The atoms in your body were forged in the hearts of stars, concentrated by ancient microbes, and refined by the heat of the earth. You are a nuclear masterpiece, a biological miracle, and a geological treasure. As you sink further into the mattress, feel the stability of the ancient sandstone beneath you. You are grounded, you are safe, and you are ready to explore the deeper secrets of the stone. Oxidation, soluble, delta, sleep. We descend now into the mechanical heart of the stone, exploring the rhythmic pulse of the Earth's natural engine. In the science of nuclear engineering, a reactor is a delicate balance of temperature, pressure, and flux. But at Oklo, nature achieved this balance without a single computer or a human hand. The secret to its longevity was its ability to breathe. Every 3 hours, the reactor would come to life. The uranium atoms would split, releasing energy and heating the surrounding groundwater to the boiling point. As the water turned to steam, it would expand and rise, escaping through the porous sandstone into the ancient air above. In this segment, we explore the deep, thermal rhythm of the past, a cycle of activity and rest that mirrors the very nature of life itself. The science of fluid dynamics tells us that as the steam left the reactor, the reaction would instantly stop, because without the liquid water to slow down the neutrons, the chain could not be sustained. This was a self-regulating system, a perfect negative feedback loop. It is one of the most elegant solutions in the history of physics. The reactor would sit in the silence of the Earth for 2.5 hours, cooling down as fresh, cold groundwater slowly seeped back into the cracks. Once the core was saturated again, the neutrons would slow down, and the fire would reignite. As you lie here, feel the rhythm of your own life in this ancient cycle. Your day is the period of activity, the period of steam and energy, and your night is the period of cooling, of saturation, and of silence. You are not just resting, you are resetting the core of your being for the next cycle. Imagine the environment around the Oklo Delta 2 billion years ago. The ground was a mosaic of shifting sands and clay, soaked in the rich, mineral-heavy waters of the young Earth. Every few hours, the ground would begin to tremble slightly, a low, subsonic vibration that vibrated through the mud. Then, a plume of white steam would hiss from a crack in the rock, rising into the thick, oxygen-rich atmosphere. It was a ghost of a machine, a phantom of energy hidden beneath the surface. To a visitor from another world, it would have seemed like the Earth was alive, like it was exhaling the heat of its own internal fire. You are exhaling now, letting the heat of your thoughts leave your body, becoming as light and as silent as the steam rising from the Oklo sandstone. In the world of thermodynamics, we study the transfer of heat from the uranium to the stone. The sandstone at Oklo acted as a massive heat sink, a geological battery that absorbed the energy and released it slowly. This heat helped to drive the chemical reactions that created the rare minerals found only at this site. In the darkness of your room, think of your bed as your own personal heat sink. It is absorbing the tension of your muscles, the warmth of your skin, and the weight of your frame. It is holding you steady while your internal reactor cools down. You are becoming thermally stable. You are becoming geologically still. The burn-up of your day is complete, and the silence of the cool down has begun. The reactor at Oklo was incredibly efficient. Over its lifetime, it consumed about 5 tons of uranium-235, producing enough energy to run a small town for centuries. But it did so without creating the catastrophic waste we often associate with nuclear power, because the process was so slow and so natural. The radioactive byproducts were trapped within the crystal structure of the rocks themselves. Nature had solved the problem of nuclear waste disposal 2 billion years ago. Using nothing but the chemistry of the Earth, you are a master of disposal too. While you sleep, your body is clearing away the metabolic waste of the day, trapping the stress and the toxins, and preparing you for a clean, fresh start. Consider the sheer scale of time. 100,000 years of pulsing, breathing. That is a span of time so vast that human history is but a blink of an eye in comparison. The Oklo reactor did not care about time, it only cared about the cycle. It was a manifestation of the eternal laws of the universe, laws that are still working within you right now. You are a part of a sequence that has no end, a rhythm that began in the hearts of stars and will continue long after the sun has gone dark. In the silence of the Oklo night, there is a profound peace. The peace of a system that is perfectly in tune with its own nature. The water is returning, the rock is cooling, the neutrons are waiting. The cycle is deep. In the silence of the third segment, you are finding the rhythm of the deep earth. You are moving away from the frantic, irregular pulses of the modern world and into the steady, 3-hour breath of the Oklo reactor. Your heart rate is slowing, your breathing is deepening, and your mind is becoming as clear and as silent as a pool of groundwater in the African dark. You are the stone, you are the water, and you are the ancient, glowing secret. Feedback. Saturation. Thermal. We move now from the cycle of the reactor to the legacy it left behind. exploring the ghost elements and the science of the nuclear fingerprints. When the reactors at Oklo finally fell silent 2 billion years ago, they did not leave behind a wasteland. Instead, they left behind a geological treasure chest, a record of a reaction that had been frozen in stone. In the world of nuclear forensics, we look at the isotopic signatures of elements like neodymium, samarium, and gadolinium. At Oklo, these elements are found in proportions that are only possible if a nuclear reaction has occurred. In this segment, we explore the evidence of the invisible, the way the Earth remembers its own energy, and how that memory can guide you into the deepest layers of your own rest. The science of spectroscopy allows us to see the fingerprints of these ghost elements. When a uranium atom splits, it creates a cascade of smaller atoms, a lineage of decay that follows a precise mathematical path. The researchers in 1972 were able to trace this path back through 2 billion years of history. They found that the waste of the Oklo reactor had remained exactly where it was created, encased in the mineral zircon and aluminum phosphate. It had not moved more than a few centimeters in all that time, despite the movement of continents and the rise of life. This is the ultimate form of stability. Imagine your own memories as these stable isotopes. They are part of your history, but they are encased in the solid, protective stone of your mind. They are no longer active. They are no longer hot. They are simply a record of where you have been. In the study of geochemistry, we look at the retention of these elements as a model for modern nuclear safety. The Oklo reactor proved that nature can contain radioactive materials for billions of years using nothing but the natural barriers of the Earth. It is a testament to the power of the ground to heal and to hold. Tonight, let the ground of your own being hold you. You do not need to worry about the byproducts of your life, the mistakes, the worries, or the unfinished tasks. Your internal geology is strong enough to contain them, to neutralize them, and to keep them from disturbing the peace of your night. You are a secure facility, a sanctuary of stable elements. One of the most fascinating secrets of Oklo is the presence of xenon gas. Xenon is a noble gas, and it usually escapes into the atmosphere as soon as it is created. But at Oklo, scientists found it trapped within tiny, microscopic cages of aluminum phosphate. This is the breath of the reactor, held captive in the stone for 2,000 million years. Imagine a single atom of xenon, a tiny silver ghost, waiting in the dark for an eternity. It has seen the world change from a volcanic desert to a green garden. Yet it has remained perfectly still. You are that atom of xenon tonight. You are trapped in the beautiful, protective cage of your sleep. And the world can change all it wants. You will remain in your state of perfect, noble silence. The isotopes of ruthenium found at Oklo are particularly special because they allow us to calculate the exact power of the reactor. They tell us that the Oklo engine was a slow burner. It did not explode like a bomb. It hummed like a heart. It was a gentle, domestic fire that warmed the ancient mud. In the darkness of your room, feel that slow burn in your own heart. It is the steady, quiet energy of your existence. The light that never goes out. Even when you are asleep, you are a low-power, high-efficiency system, designed to last for an eternity. You are not burning up. You are glowing. Consider the silence of the mineral kingdom. The rocks at Oklo do not speak. They do not move. They only carry the information of the past. They are the ultimate librarians of the Earth. Tonight, let yourself become a mineral. Let your thoughts become as dense and as stable as zircon. Let your awareness become as clear and as still as a crystal of quartz. You are moving from the world of the living, with its noise and its motion, into the world of the stone, where the only thing that matters is the record of the light. The fingerprints are deep. The cages are locked. The isotopes are stable. The memory is still. In the silence of the fourth segment, you have found the evidence of your own strength. You have seen that even the most powerful energy can be contained, balanced, and remembered without being destructive. You are the curator of your own history, the guardian of your own isotopes, and the master of the nuclear dark. The Earth is holding its secret, and you are holding yours. Forensics, isotope, retention, sleep. We leave the physical remnants of the stone behind and enter the realm of the eternal, exploring the deep time and the constant laws of the universe. In the world of theoretical physics, there is a haunting question. Do the laws of nature change as the universe ages, or are they fixed, forever unchanging? The reactors at Oklo provided a unique opportunity to answer this, because they allowed us to measure the physics of 2 billion years ago with incredible precision by studying how the uranium atoms split and how the neutrons were captured. Scientists were able to look at the fine structure constant, a fundamental number that determines the strength of the electromagnetic force. In this segment, we explore the absolute stability of the cosmos, the realization that the rules of existence are the same tonight as they were when the Earth was young. The science of fine structure constant analysis at Oklo is a masterpiece of intellectual detective work. Scientists found that this constant has not changed by more than 1 part in 10 million over the last 2 billion years. This means the very fabric of reality is reliable. It means the way light travels, the way atoms hold together, and the way energy flows have remained perfectly consistent through the rise and fall of entire geological eras. As you settle into the stillness of the night, let this cosmic reliability wash over you. You are not living in a chaotic, shifting universe. You are resting on a foundation of eternal laws. The same forces that governed the ancient nuclear fire at Oklo are governing the rhythm of your heart and the firing of your neurons. You are held by a set of rules that have never failed. In the world of cosmology, we call this the principle of universality. It is the idea that the same physics applies everywhere and at all times. Whether you are on the surface of the moon, in the center of a distant galaxy, or lying in your bed in the quiet of the night, the laws of rest and recovery are the same. Your body knows exactly how to heal itself because it follows the ancient, reliable instructions of the universe. You don't need to double-check the process. You don't need to supervise the repair. You can trust in the deep time of the stone. You are a part of a mathematical harmony that is 2 billion years old, and it is perfectly, beautifully still. Imagine the perspective of the Oklo ore. For 2,000 million years, it has sat in the darkness, watching the Earth evolve. It saw the first multicellular life emerge. It saw the oceans change color. It saw the movement of the tectonic plates as Africa drifted away from the other continents. Through all that change, the internal physics of the uranium remained the same. It is a symbol of the quiet observer within you, the part of your consciousness that remains steady while your thoughts and emotions swirl around like the shifting sands of the delta. Tonight, identify with the stone. Be the observer that does not change, the center that does not move, the law that does not move, the law that does not break. The reactor at Oklo is a bridge between the microscopic and the macroscopic. It shows us how the tiny, invisible dance of a neutron can be recorded in a mountain of sandstone. In the darkness of your room, feel the microscopic peace spreading through your body. Every cell is a tiny reactor, performing its own silent, chemical magic. every atom is a vibration in the field of existence. You are a symphony of billions of tiny, stable laws, all working together to create the experience of you. There is no conflict. There is no error. There is only the smooth, silent operation of the system. Consider the entropy of the day. The way energy tends to scatter and become disorganized. But in the deep time of the night, the universe moves toward order, toward the ground state. In the science of thermodynamics, the ground state is the condition of lowest energy, where everything is at its most stable. You are reaching your ground state now. The excitement of the day has radiated away, leaving you as calm and as steady as the fine structure constant itself. You are the constant, and the world is the variable. The laws are fixed. The constant is steady. The observer is quiet. The time is deep. In the silence of the fifth segment, you are finding the ultimate security. You are realizing that the universe is built on a foundation of absolute, unchanging peace. The secrets of Oklo are not just about uranium and water. They are about the reliability of reality. You are safe because the universe is consistent. You are resting because the laws of life require it. And you are silent because you have found the center of the deep, eternal time. Constant sleep. We turn now from the eternal laws to the hidden geography of the site, exploring the natural containment and the architecture of the underground. The 16 reactor zones at Oklo were not all the same. They were scattered across a vast area, each one a unique pocket of history. Some were deep within the earth, while others were closer to the surface, protected by layers of clay and organic-rich shale. In the world of nuclear waste management, these sites are studied as the world's only deep geological repository that has stood the test of billions of years. In this segment, we explore the feeling of being perfectly enclosed, perfectly protected, and perfectly hidden from the world above. The science of lithology tells us that the rocks at Oklo are incredibly diverse. There are layers of conglomerate, sandstone, and siltstone, each playing a role in the containment of the nuclear secrets. The clay minerals, specifically the chlorites and illites, acted as chemical sponges, soaking up the radioactive isotopes and locking them into their crystal lattice. Imagine yourself being soaked up by the comfort of your room. Your blankets are like the layers of shale, the mattress is like the ancient sandstone, and the quiet air is like the protective clay. You are being sponge-fed with peace. You are being locked in to a state of total, absolute security. In the study of hydrology, we look at how the groundwater moved through the Oklo site. It was a slow, patient movement, a filtration process that took thousands of years to travel just a few miles. This slow movement is what allowed the reactors to run for so long without overheating or exploding. It was a slow flow system. Tonight, let your own internal flow become slow and patient. The blood in your veins, the lymph in your vessels, and the thoughts in your mind are all moving with the grace of ancient groundwater. There is no rush. There is no pressure. There is only the steady, rhythmic filtration of the night. One of the most remarkable features of the Oklo site is the organic trap. The area was once a shallow lagoon, filled with the remains of ancient life. This organic matter created a chemical barrier that prevented the uranium from escaping. It was as if the life of the past had reached forward in time to protect the future. You are surrounded by your own organic trap of comfort. Your memories of safety, your feelings of belonging, and your sense of home are all acting as barriers, keeping the noise of the world outside and the peace of the night inside. You are a protected lagoon, a quiet, sheltered place where the fire of the soul can burn safely in the dark. The burial depth of the reactors was critical. They were buried under hundreds of meters of sediment, away from the reach of erosion and the cycles of weather. In the darkness of your room, feel the depth of your own rest. You are buried deep beneath the surface of your life, away from the wind of your worries and the rain of your responsibilities. You are in a place where the weather cannot change, where the temperature is always perfect, and where the silence is absolute. You are the heart of the stone, the secret in the sand. Consider the structural integrity of the Oklo Formation. Despite the massive energy produced by the reactors, the rock did not shatter. It held its shape, it kept its secrets, and it endured. This is the same integrity you have within you. You are built to handle the energy of life without being broken. You are a structure of incredible strength and resilience. And tonight, you are allowing that structure to relax, to settle, and to simply be. You don't need to do anything to be strong. You only need to exist. The shale is heavy. The clay is soft. The lagoon is quiet. The depth is home. In the silence of the sixth segment, you are finding the comfort of the enclosure. You are realizing that you are perfectly contained and perfectly cared for by the earth itself. The secrets of Oklo are safe because the rock is faithful, and your rest is safe because your body is a temple of ancient geological wisdom. You are sinking into the deep repository of the night, and the silence is your guardian. Repository, lithology, integrity, sleep. We move now into the microscopic world of atomic memory, exploring the mineral witnesses that have held the nuclear fire in their hearts for 2 billion years. In the world of crystallography, minerals are the ultimate time capsules. They are not just lumps of stone. They are structured, geometric arrangements of atoms that can record the passage of energy through their very lattice. At Oklo, the most important of these witnesses is a mineral called zircon. Zircon is incredibly tough, resistant to heat, pressure, and chemical attack. When a uranium atom inside a zircon crystal splits, the resulting pieces fly apart, leaving tiny, microscopic scars called fission tracks. In this segment, we explore the silent, permanent records of the Earth's energy and how your own mind can learn to hold its history without being burdened by it. The science of geochronology uses these tiny scars to tell the time. Each track is a ghost of a past event, a frozen moment of intense energy that happened eons ago. By counting these tracks, scientists can calculate exactly when the Oklo reactors turned on and how long they lasted. Imagine your own life as a series of these tracks. Every experience you have had, every joy, every sorrow, and every challenge has left a tiny, beautiful mark on the crystal of your soul. But here is the secret of the zircon. The mark does not weaken the crystal. It becomes part of its story. It makes the stone unique. Tonight, let your memories be like fission tracks in a zircon. They are evidence of the fire you have carried, but they are frozen. They are stable, and they are perfectly at rest in the dark. In the study of metamictization, we look at how radiation can slowly change the structure of a mineral over millions of years. The crystals at Oklo have been through a tremendous transformation. They have been bathed in a slow, steady stream of neutrons for hundreds of generations. Yet, they have maintained their integrity. They have not dissolved into chaos. They have evolved into a new, more complex state of being. This is the same process of maturity that you are experiencing. Every day of life irradiates you with new information and energy. And every night, you integrate that energy into the structure of who you are. You are not getting older. You are becoming more refined. You are becoming a more complex and beautiful crystal. Imagine the view from inside a crystal of aluminum phosphate at Oklo. You are surrounded by a rigid, perfect cage of atoms. Within this cage, tiny, noble gases like xenon and krypton are trapped. They are the breath of the ancient reactor, captured in mid-exhale. This is the ultimate form of stillness, a gas that cannot move, a vibration that cannot escape. Tonight, let yourself be captured in the cage of your own comfort. Your room, your bed, and the stillness of the air are the crystal lattice that holds you. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. You are an atom of noble gas, safe and secure in the heart of a 2-billion-year-old stone. The science of isotope geochemistry allows us to see the daughter products of the uranium. When the fuel is used up, it doesn't disappear, it turns into something else. Lead, bismuth, thallium. This is the alchemy of the universe. The constant turning of one thing into another. Your day has decayed into the night. The heat of your actions has turned into the leaden weight of your limbs. The light of the sun has turned into the silver silence of the moon. This is not a loss. It is a transition. You are simply changing your state, moving from the fissile energy of the day into the stable isotope of the night. Consider the silence of the atomic scale. At this level, there is no sound. There is only the slow, rhythmic vibration of the bonds between atoms. This is the hum of the universe, the background music of existence. As you lie there, feel your body beginning to vibrate at this microscopic frequency. You are moving past the noise of words, past the noise of images, and into the pure, geometric resonance of the stone. You are the zircon. You are the zircon. You are the phosphate. And you are the ancient nuclear memory. The lattice is strong. The tracks are frozen. The atoms are bonded. The memory is still. In the silence of the seventh segment, you are finding the peace of the permanent. You are realizing that your history is not a weight to be carried, but a structure to be inhabited. The secrets of Oklo are safe because the crystals are faithful, and your rest is safe because your soul is a diamond of ancient, indestructible light. You are resting in the heart of the atomic dark, and the silence is your home. Crystallography. Zircon. Sleep. We turn now from the microscopic witnesses to the vast, hidden landscape of the African night, exploring the Oklo site as it exists today, a place of quiet, tropical shadows and deep, geological slumber. The mine at Oklo is no longer active. The uranium has been removed, and the forest is slowly reclaimed the land, but beneath the roots of the trees and the red soil, the ghost of the reactor still lingers. The rocks still carry the heat of their ancient history, a faint, thermal memory that can only be detected by the most sensitive instruments. In this segment, we explore the afterglow of the miracle, the way the earth holds onto its energy long after the fire has gone out. The science of geothermal gradients tells us that the earth is always leaking heat from its core. But at Oklo, there is a tiny extra signature. This is the decay heat of the remaining isotopes, a soft, invisible warmth that rises through the sandstone like the breath of a sleeping giant. Imagine you are walking through the jungle of Gabon at midnight. The air is thick and humid, filled with the scent of damp earth and ancient leaves. As you step over the ground, you feel a strange, comforting warmth beneath your feet. It is the reactor, whispering from 2 billion years in the past. It is telling you that the fire never truly dies. It only changes form, Tonight, feel your own afterglow. The energy of your day is still within you, but it has softened. It has become a warm, gentle radiance that is perfect for sleep. In the study of paleoecology, we look at how the presence of the reactor affected the life around it. While the radiation would have been intense near the core, just a few meters away, the warmth of the reactor would have created a unique, stable environment for ancient bacteria to thrive. It was a thermal oasis in a cold, primitive world. You have created your own thermal oasis tonight. Your bed is a place of perfect, regulated warmth, a sanctuary where the radiation of the world cannot reach you. You are like those ancient microbes, safe in the glow of a power you don't need to understand. The silence of the modern Oklo site is profound. Because the uranium is gone, the intense activity has ceased, leaving only the background count of the universe. In the world of radiation safety, the background count is the constant, low-level radiation that is everywhere, from the stars, the soil, and even the bananas we eat. It is the static of the cosmos. Tonight, let the background count of your life become your lullaby. The small, unimportant noises of the house, the distant sound of the wind, the hum of the air, these are the background counts of your existence. They are not distractions. They are the proof that you are part of a living, breathing world, and that everything is in its proper place. One of the most beautiful secrets of Oklo is the way the land has recovered. The scars of the mining have been covered by the green canopy. The rivers have returned to their natural paths, and the silence has been restored. This is the resilience of the stone, the ability of the earth to heal itself from any trauma. You have that same resilience, no matter how stressful your day was, no matter how many extractions were made from your energy. Your internal landscape is being reclaimed by the night. The green forest of your subconscious is growing over the mine of your mind, covering the sharp edges and filling the deep holes with the soft, velvet dark. Consider the half-life of your worries. In nuclear physics, the half-life is the time it takes for half of a radioactive substance to decay. Your worries have a half-life too. With every minute of stillness, they lose their power. They become less active, less hot. By the time you reach the center of the night, they will have decayed into nothing but stable, harmless lead. You are watching the decay of the day and the rise of the eternal, silent stone. The forest is growing. The heat is softening. The count is low. The land is healed. In the silence of the 8th segment, you are finding the peace of the afterglow. You are realizing that you don't need to be active to be powerful. The moon is powerful in its stillness. The reactor is powerful in its memory. And you are powerful in your rest. You are sinking into the red soil of the ancient delta. And the shadows of the forest are your blanket. Geothermal afterglow. Afterglow. Sleep. We drift now into the realm of universal harmony, exploring the cosmic connection between the nuclear fire of the Earth and the distant light of the stars. In the world of astrophysics, we know that every atom of uranium at Oklo was born in the violent, beautiful death of a massive star, a supernova that occurred billions of years before our solar system even existed. The energy that powered the natural reactors in Gabon was quite literally starlight, trapped in the heavy elements of the Earth's crust, waiting for 2 billion years to be released. In this segment, we explore the absolute unity of the cosmos, the realization that the heat in your body, the energy in the stone, and the light in the sky are all part of the same eternal fire. Imagine yourself as a vessel for this ancient starlight, a living bridge between the deep past of the galaxy and the quiet present of your room. The science of nucleosynthesis tells us that only the most extreme events in the universe can create elements as heavy as uranium. It takes the collision of neutron stars or the collapse of a stellar core to forge the atoms that eventually found their way into the mud of the African Delta. This means the Oklo reactor was a piece of the heavens operating deep underground. It was a cosmic engine, humming with the frequency of the stars. As you settle into the deepest part of the night, let this sense of cosmic scale expand your mind. You are not just a person lying in a bed, you are a collection of star stuff. A gathering of atoms that have traveled across light years and eons to be here. Your rest is not a small thing. It is a moment of stellar quiet, a pause in the long, glowing journey of the matter that makes you. In the study of quantum entanglement, we consider the possibility that everything in the universe remains connected at a fundamental level. Perhaps the atoms at Oklo are still vibrating in sync with the remnants of the star that created them, and perhaps the atoms in your own body are in sync with the rhythm of the earth. This is the universal hum, the background frequency of existence that underpins all noise and all silence. Tonight, let your heartbeat find this frequency. Stop trying to manage your thoughts and simply tune in to the steady, low-level vibration of the universe. It is the same vibration that governed the neutron flux at Oklo. A perfect, mathematical pulse that is both infinitely powerful and infinitely peaceful. One of the most profound secrets of the Oklo reactors is what they tell us about the fine-tuning of the universe. If the laws of physics were even slightly different, if the strong nuclear force were a fraction weaker or the electromagnetic force a fraction stronger, the natural reactors would never have started, and the stars themselves would not shine. The fact that Oklo exists is proof that you live in a universe that is perfectly calibrated for life, for energy, and for rest. You are part of a Goldilocks reality, where everything is just right. This realization is the ultimate pillow for your mind. You don't need to fix the world. You don't need to change the laws of nature. You only need to exist within them. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, in a system that was designed to hold you. Consider the stellar memory within the stone. The uranium at Oklo carried the memory of the supernova, and it transformed that memory into the heat of the earth. You are doing the same with your experiences. You take the high-energy events of your life, the flashes of light and the heavy impacts, and you slowly transform them into the steady, gentle warmth of wisdom and rest. You are a biological reactor, turning the raw material of your history into the stable isotopes of your character. This is a quiet, internal alchemy that happens best in the dark, while the mind is still and the body is silent. The star is dead. The atom is born. The fire is earthbound. The light is within. In the silence of the ninth segment, you are finding your place in the galactic sequence. You are no longer a solitary entity. You are a node in a vast, glowing network that spans the entire universe. The secrets of Oklo are a reminder that the Earth is not a separate thing from the sky. It is a part of the sky. And you are not a separate thing from the Earth. You are the Earth dreaming of the stars. You are safe. You are connected. And you are home in the cosmic dark. Nucleosynthesis, entanglement, calibration, sleep. We have reached the final horizon of our journey, the heart of the stone silence. We have traveled from the discovery of the reactors in 1972, back through the oxygen revolution, into the pulsing heart of the natural engine, and out to the stars themselves. Now, we return to the quiet soil of Gabon, to the place where the fire has finally become one with the earth. In this final segment, we embrace the absolute, unmoving peace of the Oklo mystery. a secret that has been kept for 2 billion years and will be kept for billions more. You are at the end of the story and the beginning of the dream. The science of nuclear decay tells us that everything eventually reaches stability. Even the most active isotopes at Oklo have long since turned into stable lead, a heavy, protective metal that does not change. This is the final state of all energy, the transition from the hot to the cold, from the active to the eternal. Tonight, you are reaching your own lead state. Your limbs are heavy and unmoving. Your thoughts are stable and non-reactive, and your mind is a solid, protective shield against the world. You have decayed from the high energy of the day into the perfect, stable isotope of the night. There is no more fire, only the cool, dark, and comforting stone. In the world of geology, 2 billion years is half the age of the planet. The Oklo site has survived the breakup of supercontinents, the freezing of the entire Earth during ice ages, and the massive asteroid impacts that wiped out the dinosaurs. It has survived because it is grounded, because it is part of the foundation. You are finding that same foundation within yourself tonight. You are moving past the weather of your emotions and the erosion of your stress into the deep, unmoving bedrock of your soul. You are a structure that can survive anything, a sanctuary that has stood the test of time. The silence of Oklo is the ultimate teacher. It teaches us that nature is the greatest engineer, that time is the greatest healer, and that the most powerful secrets are often the ones that are buried the deepest. In the darkness of your room, let the stone silence be your guide. You do not need to speak. You do not need to think. You only need to think. You only need to be. Like the uranium ore waiting in the sandstone, you are a miracle of existence, a secret waiting to be discovered by the morning. But for now, you are content to remain hidden in the dark. Imagine the entire Earth as a giant, silent clock, ticking in units of millions of years. In that time scale, your worries are less than a flicker of a single atom. They are gone before they even began. The only thing that remains is the stone, the water, and the fire. You are the stone. You are the water. And you are the fire. You are the ancient nuclear secret, the 2 billion-year-old mystery that is finally at rest. The reactor is silent, the steam has dissipated, and the forest is quiet. The journey is complete. The fuel is spent. The rock is cold. The secret is safe. Your breathing is now the only movement in the universe. A slow, heavy, and effortless rhythm that echoes the heartbeat of the deep earth. You are sinking into the sandstone, becoming part of the geological record, part of the history of the stars, part of the absolute, eternal silence. Sleep now, in the heart of the Africa. Sleep now, in the cradle of the past. Sleep now, in the arms of the mystery. All is well, and the night is yours. Stability, bedrock, eternal. Sleep.